Hello and welcome to another episode of the Ben Rollins Blueprint Podcast. I'm your host, Ben Rollins. I want them. Today is a very special edition of the Ben Rollins Blueprint Podcast. But before we start this episode today, I want to take a moment just to wish you Happy New Year. This is the first episode of the new year, and I want to thank you for everything you did last year. This is a new beginning, and everything is going to be awesome this year. So get ready for some epic episodes coming your way. Thank you for tuning in to Ben Rollins Blueprint every week to get some good and interesting episodes. But today's going to be an awesome one. So I just want you to stay tuned, enjoy with us. So I have an interesting guest today. This is the first time I'm bringing a lady to Ben Rollins Blueprint Podcast. Everyone have been asking me, "Oh, Ben Rollins, why do you only bring guys to your podcast?" Okay, today we have a lady. So she's a nice lady. She's awesome. She's known as the Beyonce of her family, and she's no other person than Bayana Smith. Hey, Bayana, how you doing today?
Hi, I'm so good. How are you?
I'm good. Why you so?
I'm really excited to be here.
Oh, like that. So, how was your New Year?
My New Year was so good. I went to the club. I had so much fun with my friends, and it was just a great time. And I was so happy to bring in the New Year with my friends. So yeah.
Okay, I like that. I just want to know who Bayana Smith is. But before you answer any question, I just want to ask you, how was your childhood like?
My childhood, to me, I feel like it was normal. But now that I'm older, like growing up in my childhood, I was like, this is a normal life. But now that I'm older, I'm like, that's not normal. Like a lot of stuff that I went through, it was a lot that probably a lot of other people didn't go through. So I say that because I moved around a lot. So I was born in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I'm from Pennsylvania, for those who don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved to Philly with my dad after I lived in in Lancaster for till I was 3 or something. And then I moved to Philly and I was there for a while. Then I moved to Pittsburgh, went back with my mom. Then I moved back to then I moved to New York. Then I moved back to Lancaster. It was a lot. So I moved around a lot, but it was hectic. So I lived with my mom for half my life. Then I went with my dad. And that's where most of the craziness was, because my dad and my stepmom had an interesting way for their form of income, they were some drug dealers. And when I was younger, I thought that was normal. I thought everybody's parents did it. I thought that's how they work. They'd sell their drugs and then they have a normal job too. They have 2 jobs, but it wasn't normal. But yeah, that was their form of income, and I was just used to it. But it also came with it just came with a lot of crazy stuff, like cops and everything, our house getting raided, going from house to house, moving, having to be on 10 all the time when we go out. If I go out with my dad, I got to make sure I'm looking at my surroundings and stuff. It was a lot. It was crazy.
So growing up in that environment, what were you thinking as a kid?
Honestly, I was a kid, so I was just thinking I was just having fun. I was just a kid. I was just living in a good world, because them doing that and selling drugs for money and stuff, I had everything I wanted. I was spoiled. I was very spoiled when I was younger. So I was having a good time. I mean, I know that sometimes maybe my dad was getting locked up every other week, but I still was good. I was taken care of. So as a kid, I'm okay, well, I have everything I want. I have all the new shoes. I have all the new clothes. I'm fine. I mean, my dad might go to jail a lot, but I have what I want. So as a kid, I'm okay, whatever. It is what it is.
So when your dad goes to jail, it doesn't bother you?
No, okay, so at first it used to bother me, because I'm a big daddy's girl, so I used to be oh my God, my dad's in jail. But then, it just became routine. If my dad wasn't there for 2 days, I'll be dang. I would ask my stepmom, is my dad locked up? And she'll be yeah. And I'll be oh, I guess I'll see him in a couple months, maybe a year, and that was that.
Who was your role model?
Role model?
Mm-hmm.
My role model, oh my gosh, okay. My role model was probably my mom. Because, but when I was younger, I don't know if I had a role model. I think I was learning everything. But as I be probably in middle school, high school, when I really figured out trying to figure out myself, I was my mom was probably my role model, because after I when I got old enough for her to tell me her story, I was like, that's a lady I want to be like. So yeah, definitely my mom was probably my role model.
Wow. So that's I'm blown away by your story, by the way, and I'm sure of us right now. But before we proceed, I want to ask you, like, what was your aspiration? What do you want to become when you grow up? Being in that situation where your house was raided, your dad has been locked up, like you said, every week.
So my aspirations, this is about to sound so corny, but when I was younger, I really wanted to be a princess. I swear to you, I wanted to be a princess. That was my aspirations. That's it. I wanted to be a princess. I wanted to be taken care of. That's it. But when I was actually in school, like, and I actually was like, okay, what do I want to be when I grow up? The first, I have changed my mind so many times. I still be changing my mind to this day. But at first, I wanted to be a veterinarian because I love animals so bad. I want to be a veterinarian. Then I changed my mind when I realized you got to put the animals down. I can't handle that. My heart can't handle that. So I was like, okay, I can't be that. Then I wanted to do something with business. Then I was like, what am I doing with business? Do I really know? I don't know. Then I wanted to be an English professor, and I wanted to be an English professor for a while. So, but now I changed my mind more recently to dealing with real estate. So I don't know. I had a lot of different ideas of what I wanted to be when I grew up.
Yeah, still on your childhood. How many times did the police raid your house?
That I can remember two
Two.
times.
So can you walk us through the experience?
Okay, so the one that I remember the most is I was at school. My stepmom picked me and my little sister up early, and she told me that we were gonna go to a friend's house for a couple of days. And I'm like, okay. And you know me, I'm being a daddy. So I'm like, where is dad? Where is dad? She said he gonna meet us there. So we get to the house. We get to the lady's house. It's a friend of my stepmom. And my stepmom keeps asking me to look out the window to see if there's any cops out there. Now, this is not out of the ordinary. Like, I have to go look for cops often. It's not nothing different. Like, okay, I'm looking for the cops. I don't see anybody. So, like, for an hour straight, and my dad is in the house, too. He was in the basement, though. So for like an hour straight, she's like, keep going to look, keep going to look. So every 10 minutes, I'm going back for every 10 minutes for an hour. Like, there's no cops. Like, and then I'm starting to get annoyed. Like, how many times I go out there? There's no cops out there. So my stepmom's like, are you sure? I'm like, yes, there's no cops. I'm looking, there's nobody out there, right? So then my dad comes from the basement and he goes out the back. And all of a sudden, all of these, they were hiding behind the cars. But they weren't regular cops. Like, they looked like they had SWAT gear, I'm telling you. They was dressed in all black. They had the little helmets on with the little goggle things. And they had these big old guns. And they came in, and then my dad ran. They chased him. And then they took me and my little sister, and it was just a lot going on. But then they raided that house that we was in. It was crazy.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it
So
was a lot.
when they took you, where did they take you to?
We went to the police station. They were just asking us questions.
How long were you guys over there?
We weren't there long. We weren't there long at all. They were just asking, but we didn't have nothing to say because I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, I don't know what you want us to tell you. But we went. Our stepmom took us back. They really was just looking for my dad. They didn't have really much to say. They just wanted us to know, like, if we knew what our dad was doing. I'm like, no. I was so young. I'm like, no, I don't know what y'all talking about. I was just told to keep looking out to see if you guys were out there. Like, I don't know.
Being in that situation as a kid, did you think your dad was doing something right?
I mean, I knew that it was something that he could get in trouble for, but I didn't think that it was that serious because it was so normal. So I'm like, I know it's something bad because he's like, okay, be on the lookout for this. Make sure that you're like checking your surroundings and stuff like that. I knew I had to be alert, but I didn't think it was something that serious because I was like, we do this every day. This is nothing different. Like, it's normal. So yeah, it was bad, but I didn't realize how bad it was.
Wow. So you leave Pennsylvania. Where do you move to?
Then after I lived with my dad.
Yeah.
So I lived with him for a while. Then I moved back with my mom, but it was still in Pennsylvania. We still lived in Lancaster, but she had moved back from New York to Lancaster, and then we moved with her.
So why do you leave your dad then?
Because that's a long story. Okay, so basically, my dad had a problem. He was an abuser. Better get deep. Okay. He was an abuser. So there was this one day where we went to school and my stepmom, him and my stepmom got into something. He used to tear her up, my stepmom. And they got into something. So she came to the school to pick me and my sister up early. And then my dad came the same time she came because he was about to pick us up early. So then they're like fighting over us at the school. Like he like, no, you gotta come with me. And my stepmom was like, no, they're coming with me. Da, da, da. I don't know why they were fighting over us, but I know that they had something going on with them, and like they were just trying to take us from the other person. But then my mom also at the time was living in Lancaster too. But I lived like my dad had custody of me, but my mom was still like she had just moved to Lancaster, and we had like visitations with her. So my mom was around, and my mom was actually cool with my stepmom. So when all of that happened, my mom ended up coming too, and then my mom was like fighting with my stepmom, trying to take me and my sister from my dad. So then eventually my mom and my stepmom ended up getting me and my little sister, and then we ended up staying with my mom for a while because the living arrangements that we had going on when I was with my dad and my stepmom was not good. So we ended up just going with my mom because my mom had her own spot. Like we was living with somebody. So my mom had her own spot. So we ended up going with her. And then after that, like we went to court and everything. And we told the court, oh my gosh, it's so bad. We told the court about like all the abuse and everything. And so then we weren't allowed to live with my dad at all. So then that's when I started living with my mom. That was like in 5th grade.
Wow. And you said that was normal to you?
Yeah, that was normal, unfortunately.
Why do you say normal?
Because it just was. Like, I was just so used to it.
Wow.
It's been going on my whole life.
That's crazy. So now when you went to college, now you're on your own.
Yeah.
So were you like expecting the same lifestyle that you encountered in with your dad and stuff like that in college?
No. So that was in like when I like was finally my mom had custody of me. That was like from like 5th grade. Like it started in 5th grade when I left my dad. Then my dad went to jail and all that other stuff. When I started living with my mom, it was different. I was like I was expecting a lot from her, like that I got from my dad, like being spoiled and everything. But I learned with her, like, I don't know, the way that she raised, like it was 2 different households. So I was raised differently the way I was raised with my dad than with my mom. So the way my mom raised me, I was prepared to like be on my own in college. Like I was okay. So I expected how she raised me to going into college, not what my dad had going on.
Okay. So what were some of the challenges you faced in college?
Okay, so I was so excited for college. Like I was so happy. I couldn't wait to go. Because this was a big thing, like, because my older sister didn't go to college. So, and my mom always, like, and I was real big in school. Like, I was real on my school. Even when I was living with my dad did not play that. Like, I got to get good grades, straight A's. I was not playing that. So, I was really excited to go to school. And then I was there, like, first semester, everything was going well. My grades were good. I was making friends. It was good. I was joining clubs and stuff. And then right before... Also, my freshman year, no. Was it freshman? Yeah, my freshman year, that's when COVID happened. But right before COVID, right before the second semester, my mom passed away while I was in college.
So rest in peace.
Yeah. So that was like the hardest thing ever. Like the hardest thing ever. So when I was literally like, this is all new. Like it was a whole new environment. It was a whole new life. And now I'm finding out my mom passed away. So then I had to go home and deal with all that. That was like the biggest struggle ever. That's like my biggest struggle ever still to this day, that my mom passed away, especially because my dad basically lives in jail. So like that's the only person I have and she's gone. So yeah, that was hard.
I'm sorry for your loss, by the way. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And what are some of the lessons you learned in college that's still guiding you to today?
The lessons I learned in college? So... in college with my mom passing, I think I learned to be a little more independent because I was like super dependent as any kid. Like I was like 18, 19. So I was super dependent on my mom and like what she had going on. But being in college, like in general, even if you do have your parents, you have to learn to be independent and you have to learn to be disciplined and like time disciplined and stuff like that, which I'm still not that good at. But I think that's something I learned was to be more independent.
So how did being independent in college affect your relationship with your family?
Honestly, so I'm kind of like a little prideful. So me being independent, I was kind of like mad at my family because I'm like, y'all know I'm going through all this. Y'all know I have all this extra stuff going on with my mom and everything. Why are y'all not doing stuff for me? Why are you not giving me stuff? But then I was, at the same time, I was like, I'm not asking them. Like, I'm just being independent. I'm doing it on my own. But I don't know. That kind of affected my family because I was like, I was mad at my family for not doing more than what they did, even though I didn't ask. But I was being independent, so whatever.
So can you give us a peek into your interesting living situation?
Okay, yeah. So after all that happened, all that junk, all that stuff happened with my mom, and then COVID happened right after, they sent us home abruptly. Like, they was just like, they sent us an email. Like, we was in the second semester. They was like, everybody's going home in like a week. And I'm like, where am I going to live? My dad is in jail. My stepmom can't have nobody living with her. And my mom just passed away. I have no adult in my life that I can live with. And like my other family, they all live far. Like, they live in Pittsburgh, North Carolina, Philly. They all live far. I'm like, I'm not about to move my life. So I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to live. So I basically was literally just going friend's house to friend's house to friend's house to friend's house. I didn't have no stable place. Like, I just was everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So did your living situation help you develop any skills or coping mechanism?
I don't know. I think yes. I think I have I'm headstrong. I'm very headstrong because I feel like some of the things that I was going through, like with all that, other people will like break down and like give up. I was not, like, I still keep going. Like, I think that going through all that just made me much stronger. So, yeah.
So it made you more stronger.
Yeah, much strong, like a very strong. I'm very headstrong. I feel like anything could happen to me, and I'm like, okay, I can handle this. I'm going through it. It is what it is.
So you're moving from friend's place to friend's place. And then what finally happened?
So then my aunt reached out to me because nobody knew, like nobody. And then mind you, I have little brothers too, but my little brothers ended up moving with my stepdad, and my stepdad moved to New York. I was like, I'm not moving to New York. So nobody knew what was going on, like, but nobody really asked, so it was what it was. But my aunt reached out to me, and she was like, if you ever need anything, you know, you could always ask me, and blah, blah, blah. So then this one day I was staying with my friend, one of my friends from high school, and me and her got into this big argument about toilet paper. We literally got into a big argument about toilet paper. And I was like, you know what? I'm not staying here no more. I don't want to stay here. I was so mad. So then I texted my aunt, and I was like, can I come stay with you? And she said, yeah. And she let me stay there, and I didn't have to pay anything. So I was just working, and then I was there for like a year just working. And then I moved out. So yeah, being able to be with my aunt, and like that's a stable place. My aunt's a lawyer, and my uncle is a state trooper, so it was very stable there. They had and then they have like all these kids and stuff, so it was cool. And all I had to do was just work. That's it. That's all I have to focus on is save money. So I was there for a year. I saved my money, and then I moved out.
So what are some of the biggest struggles you face as an adult?
Okay, the biggest struggle I face as an adult, it's I don't know. I don't think I really struggle right now.
No
I think
struggle?
I'm doing okay.
No challenges in your life? Nothing?
I mean, other than like just I hate paying bills. Like that's new to me because you know I'm a fresh adult. I just moved, and I don't know. That's new to me. I don't like it, but that's it. I don't think I'm really struggling with anything unless you count like there's something wrong with my car every other week. But other than that, no. I think I'm doing pretty good right now. Like all the struggle stuff was happening before. Right now, I'm like in a good space.
So what are your future aspirations right now?
I want to get into real estate.
Why real estate?
Because I keep hearing that it makes a lot of money. Right now, the thing on my mind the most is making money. I want to make lots of money because I want to be super comfortable. Like I just want to make all the money. So whatever that is, that's what I want to do. And for a while, it was being an English professor. But then I realized they don't make a lot of money. Like, and then the people that do make a lot of money, they live like in California. I think it was like California, New York, and like it's certain places that they make a good amount.
So there's nothing that you're passionate about?
No, see, that's my problem. You know what? That's a struggle. My struggle is I don't know what I'm passionate about. Like, and I don't know how to figure out what I'm passionate about. So I've tried to do things, like I've tried to dabble into other things, but I'm just like, I don't want to do this. This is boring. I don't want to do it. So that's definitely a struggle as an adult. Like, because what do? Everybody's finding their career. Everybody's finding out what they're good at. And I'm like, I don't have anything that I'm good at. What am I going to do? So, yeah, that's definitely a struggle that I'm still facing. I don't know what to do with myself.
Do you do self-reflection?
Yeah, I do. On New Year's. I write down goals every New Year's. What do I want to accomplish this year? What am I going to do? And then I reflect on like, okay, I'm going to do this to make sure that I make this happen.
So apart from New Year, there's no other day that you sit down and reflect like, hey, how do I want to see myself in the next 5 years, 10 years? What do I
Yeah,
want to
I
do?
do.
What do I like and stuff like that? You don't do that?
I do. Me and my best friend, actually, we do it together. Like, it will be randomly. We'll just have like an epiphany and be like, we need to do this and we need to do that. I do it with my best friend often, actually.
So you have not, after doing all that, there's nothing that you think you really like doing? Nothing?
Like, I just don't know because I'm not good at anything. Like,
Why do you say you're not good at anything?
I'm really not good at anything. Well, not anything that I've tried. So what I've tried so far is like cosmetic stuff. Like I've tried to do lashes and I've tried to do hair. I haven't dipped in the nails yet, but I'll probably try to do that and I might not be good at it. But I don't know. I'm just not good at it. The stuff that I have tried. And then like the writing stuff, like I really wanted to be an English professor for a long time because when I was in school, I used to write people's papers for money. And I'm like, I was making a lot of money doing it too. So I was like, if I'm making money doing this, I might as well just make it my career. And I like to write. Like I'm good at it. I don't know. I might be a little passionate about it. I might be, but it's not something that I would want to do like for my whole life. I don't think.
Do you know the problem?
Yeah, it's me. I'm the problem.
You're not the problem.
What's the problem?
The problem is you go into anything already defeated. You think you're not going to be good. Your thing is, oh, I suck at this. I can't do this properly. That's a problem. If you can just like do yourself a favor and change your perspective and your mindset on like, hey, I want to be a learner. I want to be a student. I don't know how it's going to go, but I just want to spend some time and learn something. And when you sit down and like, oh, when you start that thing, everybody sucks at something. Like right now I'm doing podcasts. I'm not good.
You're good.
Like I'm just trying. I'm doing my best every single day to make sure everything moves towards a positive direction. But I'm not perfect at it. The fact that I'm not perfect at it does not mean I'm not going to start a podcast. So you got to give yourself a shot and believe in yourself. Like no one is going to believe in you more than you do for yourself. Just imagine if you don't believe in yourself right now, do you expect anyone to believe in yourself more than you do?
No.
Nobody's going to do that. So first, just give yourself a shot. And like, hey, I might fail, I might suck at this, but who knows? What if I succeed?
Right. Okay.
What if I succeed? No, not
I needed to hear that.
Yeah, that's just a suggestion. Like, if you just go in knowing that, oh, with a positive mindset that I can do this stuff, no matter how difficult or tough it's going to be or going to look like just little effort every single day. You don't have to be a perfect person in order to achieve a major goal in your life. Once you start small, slowly but surely, you're gonna get the aha moment when you're like, damn, is this how this thing is? I didn't really know that this thing's easy. Or like, everyone struggle at the beginning phase, everybody. So I'm sitting here, I'm telling you, I'm not perfect. So I'm gonna urge you to believe in yourself. Take it a step at a time, and bam, you're gonna get it. So despite the crazy circumstance you had like as a kid, was there anything that you picked up from your dad and your mom that are still with you to today? Like the values, is there any positive value that your dad had apart from being someone who, I don't know, do something illegal?
Repeat the question.
So my question to you is this. So living in that crazy situation or circumstance, did you like learn any positive value from your dad? Did your dad have any positive value at all?
Yeah. Two things.
Mm-hmm.
The first is through all that, he was still a dad. So something that was big that I still remember to this day, I guess it doesn't really have anything to do with anything, but it's to be kind to people who are less fortunate.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I remember one time, like, my little sister was talking about some little kid's shoes down the block. Oh, his shoes is a mess. Da, da, da. And my dad, like, lost his mind, and he really sat us down and was like, if you ever see people who, like, look a mess or they have shoes that are raggedy or whatever, don't ever talk about them. Don't ever make them feel less than, because he used to be that person. So, like, we have to treat everybody the same. We have to treat the janitors the same. We have to treat the help the same. Like, we have to treat everybody the same. So, and I take that, and, like, I try to treat everybody with the most respect that I can.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So, throughout your life story, what are some of the things that have surprised you about yourself?
That surprised me about myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to cheer. I used to be a cheerleader. And I have a lot of self-doubt, which makes no sense because I always tell you, like, I'm so confident, because I feel like I am so confident. But when it gets down to it, I just get nervous. Like, what if it don't work out? So I remember when I was in college and I was trying out for the cheer team, and I was like, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. Like, but I would still go every day. And, like, it was brutal. Like, we would stand in line and stuff, and we would do whatever we had to do. And the coach would literally tap you on the shoulder. You can leave. You can leave. In front of everybody. Like, it was so bad. So I'm like, oh, my gosh, she's going to tap my shoulder. Like, she kept tapping people next to me. And then I just wasn't leaving. So then the last day, I was like, oh, my gosh, this is the day. And I didn't know how to do the tumbling or anything like that. So I'm like, she's not going to pick me. Like, it's going to be so bad. But it came or whatever, and I did it, and I surprised myself. I was like, I didn't think I was going to go the whole time. I didn't think that I thought she was going to tap me and tell me to leave, but she didn't, so I surprised myself with that. Yeah.
Wow, that's a good one. Anyway, if you were to give your younger self an advice, what would it be?
Don't trust men. And I know you're about to be upset. No offense to men, but I feel like men, they just... They know how to manipulate, especially at my young age. Like, when I was younger, like when I was in high school, I was very easily manipulated. So, and that messed me up. Like, I told you.
Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, okay. So I had a boyfriend, and I was in love with him. Like, I was so in love with him. This was my second boyfriend, though. And I told you, I was really big on school. Like, I did not let anything come in between school. Mind you, I used to work in cheer, and I was the captain. So that was a lot. I had to do extra practice and all that. But I made sure my schoolwork was still number one. When I had a boyfriend, I was skipping school to, guess what? Do what? To lay in the bed. And he manipulated me to do it. He was like, you can just go tomorrow. We could go late. Da, da, da. And it's like, okay. And that messed me up. Like, my senior year, oh my gosh, my grades were bad. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to go to school. It's going to be horrible. And yeah, so he messed me up bad. And also, he was a cheater, so that too. That was horrible. Oh, and back to what my dad, like, what did I learn from him? That's something I learned, exactly what not to get from a man. Yeah, so the way that he used to treat and the thing is, my dad knew he was dead wrong, because he would sit there and treat my stepmom the worst way and then tell me, don't let anybody treat you the way I treat her. What? But it's true. Like, now that I'm older, my standards are high. So I don't let just anybody come in. Like, I don't let them try to manipulate, because that's one thing that a man is very good at, is manipulating. They can't manipulate me.
So I don't want to get too right or left with this. Why do you think men are manipulative?
Because they are. What do you mean? They are manipulative. That's what they do. But I think they are because at our young age, in our 20s, early 20s, teens, men want one thing. They don't really care about what you got going on. They want one thing, so they'll manipulate you and make you think they want more. But when they get it, they're like, okay, bye. So, but I'm not going to be played. You will not take me for a fool. Nope.
So whose decision is it to make? Is it your decision or is the guy's decision?
What do you mean?
Like, if you're saying the guy's manipulating you, right? Does it control you?
Yeah. A woman whose mind is manipulated is being controlled by the man, for sure.
Why do you say that?
Because that's what it is. What are you not getting? Men, like, you know what I'm trying to say. Men just manipulate and they make you think that, I don't know, like you're like nothing without them. And so now they're controlling you. They're mind control. Manipulating is mind control. It goes hand in hand.
So what can you do to stop that situation from happening?
You manipulate them first. Say, no, I'm joking. I'm joking. Honestly, you can't stop it. Like, you just have to go in with pure intentions. Anything that's happens in the dark is gonna come to the light. So you'll figure it out eventually. Like, okay, you can't go for this, but yeah, you just gotta go through the motions. I think it happens to everybody though. Like, a girl has to be manipulated and heartbroken at least one time in her life to really learn from it. Like, you learn from it.
I mean, I'm not gonna say sit down here and say every guy is manipulative.
No,
Because
okay, maybe not.
putting every guy on the same bucket, I think that's a little bit disrespectful.
Okay, not every guy, but majority, especially in our age bracket, majority are manipulative. Do you disagree?
Yeah, I disagree.
You disagree that majority?
Yeah, I
So
disagree.
you think less than majority are?
I'm not going to say less than majority are, because you can't say, oh, the guys are manipulative without what are the ladies doing in this situation?
True.
Because you can't let anybody have power over you.
You can't, but that's what happens.
You don't have to, because you have the power over yourself.
True.
I'm not going to sit down here and let someone manipulate me. It does not only have to do with like intimate relationship. It can also be like in your boss. Your boss can try to manipulate you as well. Or any relationship you can have a close friend, and your close friend to try to manipulate you. But how do you react? Are you going to just sit down and let him manipulate you?
No.
That's why.
But it also has to do with like how strong you are and how headstrong you are.
So the first thing first, you got to work on yourself and put yourself in a position where you're really immune for manipulation. There's no one who's immune for manipulation, but at least you got to put yourself in a certain level where if someone want to manipulate you, the person got to go through a deeper layer than just sitting down. And it boils down to how do you feel about yourself? Do you get your word from people, or do you get your word from yourself? Because if you're getting your word from people, it's easy for them to manipulate you, because all you think all day long is like, what is this guy thinking about me? What is this lady thinking about me? And you know what? They're also doing the same thing. They're worrying about what you're thinking about them. They don't give a damn about what you think. They don't give a damn about you.
So that's what I would tell my younger self.
So
Don't worry about what the other person
is thinking about you.
Exactly.
And build your self-confidence. Because if you think every guy is manipulative, that's just, I don't know. That's not.
It's still something I have to work on, actually.
Yeah, because you have to work on yourself, not on the other guy, not on any other guy. Because you, at the end of the day, you're the one who make the decision to go the route you choose to follow. No guy, like the guy is going to say what you want to say. He's going to do what you want to do. But at the end of the day, you're going to take your 2 legs and walk to his house or whatsoever.
Yeah.
He doesn't control you to come over.
But I'm saying, like, that would be my advice, is just try not to let a man manipulate you. I mean, it goes deeper than that. I would have to say, okay, don't worry about what they think about you. Work on yourself. But in general, that's what I would tell my younger self.
But why are you so pinned on guys manipulating ladies?
Because I've had, like, it's just been around my whole life. My stepmom was being manipulated by my dad. Then I was being manipulated by well, that was my second boyfriend, but my first, like, real boyfriend. All my friends in college, oh my gosh, left and right, manipulation. It just is like a pattern. I just see it everywhere. So I'm just big on don't let it happen to you.
So in that situation, I want us to come back to you again. Who makes the decision, though?
You, of course. Me, yes.
And then why do you put the blame on the other person?
Um,
Because you got to put a mirror and start looking like, hey, what's going on? Because there got to be a point where you're like, this thing have been happening so often now. There got to be a stop to it. Like, what's wrong? What's right?
mm-hmm.
Like, who's in control here? Is he in control or am I in control? If I'm in control, what can I do?
I don't think it happens now, though.
Yeah?
I don't think I get manipulated now.
You don't get manipulated now.
No.
Okay, that's a good thing. So far, you're in your young journey in life, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to consider yourself? Are you going to consider yourself a really strong introvert or an extrovert?
Okay, so I thought I was an extrovert, but I might be an introvert. I thought I was an extrovert because I'm very open, like, and I'm cool with talking to people. I'm cool with going and doing like outgoing things. Like, I like to do that. It's fun to me. But then I'm like, I might be an introvert because I don't go out of my way to go up to somebody and like try to talk to them. Like, I like people to come to, like, when people come to me, I'm an open book. But for me to go out of my way to go talk to somebody, no. Like, I'd rather just stay to myself. If you come to me, okay, cool, we could be the best of friends. But I'm not going up to you.
Wow. So you said all guys are manipulative, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you single or you have a boyfriend right now?
I'm single right now.
You're single right now.
Yeah.
Do you have any plan of having a boyfriend
Yeah.
or settling down someday?
Yes, of course. I want to get married one day. I have a plan. I want to start dating to marry at 27, and I want to be married at 30.
So how are you going to treat that person if you think he's going to be manipulated? He's a manipulator as well.
Well, at that point, by the time I'm 27, I'm going to be well-rounded. Like, right now, I'm already working on it. Like, my standards are much higher than what they were before. So they won't be the type of person who would manipulate me, whoever I pick my person to be, to marry me.
So if you're going into a relationship thinking the person is going to manipulate you, how do you think that relationship is going to go down?
I'm not going to go into a relationship thinking they're going to manipulate me. But right now, that's why I'm saying I'm waiting until I'm 27. Hopefully the men start being a little more mature. But right now, like, if I'm dealing with somebody, I don't expect them, like, you know what? Maybe I am the problem. Because I already expect them to do it. And then they do it. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I knew that was going to happen. But maybe if I don't expect it, it won't happen. But then, what if I don't expect it and then it does happen? Now I'm heartbroken.
Define manipulation.
They make...
In your word.
Manipulation, is, in my words, is to...
How the guys manipulating you. That's what I mean.
They make me think one thing or think that they feel one way about me. And then one day this, like, it just snaps, like, they don't feel like that anymore. And then I have to just be heartbroken and they go out and go be with whoever they want to be with.
What's love to you?
Love to me is unconditional.
It's unconditional.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in love before?
Yeah, I have.
What happened?
I think I'm still in love.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not together anymore. But I think I'm still, I'm not, I didn't just go away.
Mm-hmm.
But basically what happened was he went away. I was in love with him. I don't know if he was in love with me. But basically he got caught up in some things and he went to jail. And yeah, and then that was that.
Wow. So since then, nothing has happened?
Between me and him?
No.
Oh, like with another man?
Yeah.
You know, I'm beautiful, obviously. So people come up to me and stuff and they talk to me. And they try to talk to me. But I feel like somebody who's in love, like, I'll entertain it because, like, I don't have anything better to do. But I don't think I could fully put myself into something because my heart is somewhere else.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So now, who is the master manipulator?
Who is the master? Still men. Say no, I'm joking. It might be me. I'm not going to lie. I am a little manipulative. I am. It's true. And it's not even intentional.
And then why are you going to say the guys are manipulative then?
We can both be manipulative at this point. We're all manipulators.
So you see that base just generalizing stuff ain't good, right? It's not good.
No, it's not good at all.
So, like what you're doing, right? You think every lady is doing that?
No. No. I see what you're saying. I see what you did there. So maybe every man is not a manipulator.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good one though. Moving forward, do you think? What are some of the things you value in the relationship?
Honesty. I think if you're just honest about everything, that eliminates all the problems. If you're just upfront about everything, at least with me, like I just want to know. If I have to go find something out, now I'm more upset because I feel like if you're trying to hide something or be sneaky about it, not only were you dishonest, but now you think I'm stupid enough to believe whatever you told me. Like, just be honest about it. 9 times out of 10, we can just talk about it and work through it. So yeah, I think honesty is number one.
Apart from honesty, there's no other thing.
For things to work in a relationship, you got to be honest. You got to be loyal. You got to be open-minded. And for me, you have to be funny because I'm obviously a comedian. I'm hilarious. I want to laugh too. Like, I'm going to make you laugh, but I want to laugh too. You got to be funny.
What if he's not funny and he has all the other distinct characteristics? What are you gonna do?
I probably would still deal with it because, like I said, I make my own self laugh. But I would like to make I would like somebody else to make me laugh too. But I'm cool with that. If they don't make me laugh, never mind. No.
So, what are some of the values you look for in a man?
I would like a provider. I would like somebody who is confident. And I would like an open-minded person. And I would like, what else would I like? Oh, somebody who's honest. I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay. That's a good one. So, do you think your mom and dad relationship affected your perspective when it comes to relationship
Yes.
as a whole?
Yes. Not my mom and my dad, but my stepmom and my dad. Because my mom and my dad stopped being together when I was 2. But they stopped being together when I was 2. Then I moved with my dad and my stepmom. So their relationship definitely, I told you, they showed me exactly what not to want, like what not to allow from my relationship. They were both sneaky. Because even though my dad was like horrible in the relationship, my stepmom was not innocent. She was out, she was doing some things too. So they were both sneaky. I want to be honest with my person. I want to be like, I just want to be on the same page. I want us to both be, what is the word? Transparent. I want us to both be very transparent with each other.
Did your dad action affected your perspective when it comes to men in general?
When his actions, like
doing the illegal stuff.
Yeah, I don't want somebody like that. Like, I want the opposite of my dad. I don't want anybody that's involved in like drugs or anybody involved in street stuff. Like, I want somebody who is established with a good head on their shoulders and who has a bright future, because my stepmom been through some things just like supporting my dad with all the stuff that he had going on, like, and it's affected her life. And I feel like even though right now I'm kind of like at a standstill, I'm a little stagnant, but I feel like I have a bright future ahead. So I want my person to reflect me with that. I don't want anything else, but that makes no sense because the person that my heart belongs to ended up doing that. The way the world works.
So you saw your dad in him?
No, the thing is, I was catfished because when I started talking to him, he was in college like me, and he was a football player. I thought that's what I was getting, a football student athlete. No, as soon as I started actually liking him, all of a sudden he wanted to be in the street. It was too late. I already had feelings for him. I'm like, okay, whatever. But yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's a good one. Anyways, wrapping up, I don't want to make this too long. What are some of the advice you're going to give somebody who is, let me just consider naive, and is going into a relationship based on your own experience? What are you going to tell that person to watch out for And what are some of the benefits you're going to tell the person, oh, be ready to get this as well?
I would tell somebody who is, nobody's going to admit that they're naive though, but I would tell younger women who are going through the motions and dealing with relationships right now, to just go into everything with pure intentions, and like God will handle the rest. I feel like what's meant to be will be, and what's not will not be. That's how I truly feel. But also, don't be stupid. Don't like, if he's gonna cheat on you more than once, he's done. If he's in the, I feel like you have to be with somebody who's like, who reflects you. So don't go being with somebody who is in the streets or something if you know that you want to go get your college degree. Don't go do that. It's not smart.
Oh, that's so funny. Anyways,
What's so funny? I'm serious.
really?
What advice would you give somebody
Me?
who's naive?
First of all, I'm going to tell the person, do not go into any relationship naive. Stay put. Do not commit into any relationship at the moment. You're not ready for a relationship. Because I believe in order for you to go into any relationship, you got to be prepared yourself. You love yourself first, and you're confident about your own abilities, your skill set, and what you're bringing into the relationship. You're not just going there to take. Because when you're naive, you're not really confident about yourself or you're about some of your abilities, and you're going in. That's when you're giving room for manipulation. But the moment you know yourself,
You be spitting. All right, go ahead.
the moment you know yourself, like you sit down, do some self-reflection, and get to understand like some of your weaknesses, your flaws, and stuff like that. When you're going into a relationship, you're going better. You're not just going in just like, oh, everyone is doing it. It's cool having a boyfriend.
Yeah.
It's cool having a girlfriend. I just want to be part of the cool kids. Now, you have to know yourself first, and then do self-reflection. Be confident. Like, hey, I can give myself to somebody. I'm worth loving, and I can love somebody. The moment you get, like, normally, anyone who is suitable for any relationship is the one who is not even looking. Because they just love being with themselves. But
Have you been in a relationship?
yeah, I've been in a relationship before.
Really?
Kind of.
And what happened? Were you in love?
Yeah, I was in love.
Oh my God. Wait, what happened? You gotta tell me what happened.
It's a long story. It was just distance.
Oh.
Yeah, distance.
But you're gonna get back with her when you're close.
We'll see what happens.
Are you still in love with her?
We'll see.
What do you mean we'll see? It's a yes or a no?
I don't want to say anything on camera right now, but we'll see what happens.
I hope y'all get together, and I hope I'm invited to the wedding.
I mean, the future is bright, so we never know what's gonna happen. Maybe, maybe not, but only God knows the final answer.
I hope so.
And I'm gonna lean towards whatsoever He wants me to do. But yeah, like I was saying, in a relationship, before you want to get into any relationship, you have to first of all know yourself, value yourself first, have some values, and know that as you're going into this relationship, you're going to shape in something. And when you're looking, and then when someone approach you, I'm talking about ladies. If a guy approach you, you have to like just study the guy. Don't just say, "Oh, he's so cute." He's so cute. I'm gonna be your girlfriend. Oh yeah. when you just go when you do that, you're giving yourself room. You're just so naive because now you're giving the guy power over you. Now he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And then after he does whatever he wants, you're gonna sit down and blame that guy. Say, "Oh, that guy is so manipulative."
I mean,
He's so manipulative. But how you do not go into the relationship strong in the first place. So you can't blame that guy because you know that he's a hunter. You know that. And what does a hunter want?
the word choice is killing me.
Yeah, you know he's a hunter. And you say, "Oh, yeah, I'm a prey. Just give yourself."
But what is this voice?
Huh? What are you talking about?
The voice that you're doing.
You just give yourself, and all of a sudden, bam, you get caught. And then when you get caught, you start complaining like, "Oh, My heart is broken.
That voice.
My heart is broken. My heart is broken.
Okay,
What
yes,
were you expecting?
no, but listen, I see what you're saying about like you're going into it being naive, but even if somebody's going into it being naive, it still could be the man's fault, because why would you manipulate that girl even if she's naive? You don't have to manipulate her.
Do you think the guy is going into the relationship thinking, "Oh, I'm going to manipulate this girl"? Is that what you're thinking?
Sometimes.
That's what you're thinking. But are you in this, are you sitting down having a conversation with these guys to kind of understand what the point of view?
No,
You cannot assume.
you're right.
Yeah, before you want to base before you want to have any conclusion, just sit. Like if you see anyone who you think the guy is manipulative, sit down, have a conversation with the person. I mean, just try to be curious. Like, oh, people are going to tell you. It depends the approach you're gonna. It always depends the approach. If you come in with the right approach, they're going to tell you. If you come in too serious, they're not going to tell you. Like in the playful manner, try to find out like, hey, what's up? Like, what's your intention? Blah blah blah. They're going to spill it out. Not every guy going to any relationship thinking, oh, I'm going to manipulate this girl. What happened is when they see a beautiful lady, they're like, oh, I like this girl. I want her to be my girlfriend. They're just seeing that picture. That's all they know. Like that picture they're seeing right there, that's what they're going to be seeing every single day, in the morning, the afternoon, evening stuff. But the moment they start seeing some other stuff, like seeing you, like when you wake up and you don't got no makeup and stuff, like, oh, you got like, is this what I really want? They start asking themselves some basic question that, like, nah, this is not what I envision. So the picture now that they have in their mind, it starts to disappear. So when you find, if you dig deep, you're gonna realize that the guys themselves are struggling with self-esteem. So both genders, like guys and ladies, they're also trying to figure out like, what's life? What can I do? Like, it's not as if they're trying to be manipulative. They're just caught up in the circumstance. They don't really know who they are, and they don't really know what love is. So they're just trying everything out, everything possible to
I have
just
a
get
question.
it. Yeah, what's your question?
So, in your younger life, do you think that you've ever manipulated anyone, or do you think you've always knew who you were?
I don't think I've ever manipulated anyone, but I'm going to say this. I'm not going to say I always knew who I was either, because like knowing myself was a journey. I didn't just wake up one day and like, hey, this is what Ben Rollins represents. This is what Ben Rollins is all about. It's a process, and you got to be willing to invest the time, the effort to know who you are. It's going to take time. It doesn't happen in a day, but you have to be willing to sacrifice yourself, sacrifice your time, and be knowing that, oh, at the end of the day, I'm going to know where I am. And it's all because you see, like we in our young age, we will listen to a lot of music, watch a lot of movies and stuff like that. You get distracted a lot. People want to go for parties and stuff like that. But you got to step back. Just take a step back and just be by yourself. Just spend like 10 minutes with yourself, 20 minutes with yourself. No phone, nothing. Just think. I'm not really big on, when it comes to meditation, but I try a little bit to meditate as well. But just do some self-reflection. Start asking yourself, who am I? What can I do? Where do I see myself in the next 10 years? How can I be better? What are some of my flaws? What are some of my weaknesses? How can I improve in this area? If I improve in this area, how is my life going to be better because of this? Like, once you start asking yourself some questions, and then you're not going to have those answers in that particular moment. But with time, you're going to get better and better and better and better and better. And then you got to also try to invest in yourself by reading books, listening to audio tapes, like do some like personal investment, because the most important asset or valuable asset you have is yourself, nothing else. People think, oh, if I go to college, that's all about, that's all I want in my life. I'm going to have everything I want. But you can go to college and you don't know who you are. You're not different from someone who's just walking around the street.
Yeah.
You have to invest time, effort, energy into yourself first. Because the moment you start doing that, you're going to see yourself moving into another dimension. Because even when you're working with somebody or you're living with someone, they're going to notice a change. They're definitely going to notice the way you talk is going to be different. The way you smile is going to be different. Even the handshake is going to be different. The way you move is going to be different. You start moving like this, you start having the successful work. But it all boils down to, can I spend some time with myself? Can I do some self-reflection? And how can I be better? The easiest way to figure out who you are is to help somebody.
Is to help someone?
That's the easiest way. Just try, like, any situation you find yourself, like, try to find out, like, how can I make this person's life better? What can I do to help this person? What can I do to improve this person's life? Like, the moment you start thinking it from that perspective, it will be easy for you to figure out, like, what you really love doing.
So what if you help a lot of people, but you still don't know who you are?
A lot of people, in what sense?
Okay, so for example, I help the person that is in jail. I help his family a lot. Like his dad, I'll go grocery shopping for his dad every month. I give his mom money whenever she asks for it. I take care of things. But I still don't know who I am, but I help people all the time.
So, yes, what I mean when I say help people, right? Let's just assume one of your friends come to you right now. It's like, hey, Yana, I don't really know who I am. I've been trying to figure this thing out for a while now. And I don't know. Do you have any advice to give me?
That kind of helps.
You see, you're going to be like, oh, I don't know who I am either.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
So it's tough for me to help you because I don't really know myself. What are you going to do in that situation? You try to figure out, like, how can I help my friend? Just don't try to figure out, like, how can you help yourself at that moment, because just try to figure out how can you help your friend. Because the moment you're trying to, like, go find out, like, hey, how can you find yourself, find your identity, find what you really value or represent. The moment you're trying to figure out that for somebody, it's going to be easy for you to figure out for yourself. Because now you're looking from a different angle. Like, hey, how can I improve this person's life? You get what I'm saying? Because that's the easiest way. It's not like, oh, you see this person, you give the person $1, $10. No.
Okay.
Like you're just trying to find some values. And your circle of influence too. That's a big thing. You make an average of all your friends. So if you're walking around with broke people, there's a high probability you're gonna be broke.
Yeah. This is true.
If you're working with people who do crazy stuff, you know you're gonna do crazy stuff.
That's not true.
You think you're not gonna do it, but just watch. Just hold on, and then see what happens slowly. You're gonna be like, oh, you'll be defensive most of the time. Like, oh, I can't do that. There's no way I can do that. There's no way I can do that. And then slowly but surely, you start shifting a little bit. You start shifting a little bit. You start shifting a little bit. Before you know, there's some things you're going to start accepting. You're going to start accepting. So you got to make sure you improve your circle of influence. Because if you want to know yourself and you're always hanging around people who, I don't want to say losers, but some people are losers. And you're just hanging around people who don't really care about anything. And you think, oh, I'm going to figure out this thing. You're not going to figure it out. Find someone who has figured it out and try to learn from them. What did you do? How can I improve myself? If I do this, how is it going to make my life better? Once my life is better, what step can I take next to be a better person? Those are some of the things. Because if you don't have a good, like Napoleon Hill, on one of his greatest book of all time, Think and Grow Rich, he said, you have to have a mastermind group. Your mastermind group is a group that's going to uplift you to another level. That's why for me, my friends, anyone I consider a friend, has to be someone who challenges me. Like, I don't want to have friends who are who don't improve me in some dimension, like in one way or the other. Because I want to be in a relationship where I think, like, oh, this person is lifting me up, or this person is challenging me. Oh, I was going to if you're I always remember the saying, like if you're the smartest person in the group, you need a new group. Because some people think it's cool just sitting down and they asking them like all the questions. They think, oh, I'm so smart, I'm so smart, I'm so this, and they're happy. But the truth is, you're not learning nothing.
Yeah.
You're not learning anything. But the moment you go into a group where everyone is smart and you're the dumbest, I love that. I love to be the dumbest person.
Oh.
Because when I get there, oh man, I want to learn from you. Like, hey man, how did you get to this point? What are some of the things? I'm a curious person. So as I'm learning from you, I'm getting better. I'm getting better. And my goal when I come into a relationship is to be better than everybody. Just learn from everybody and be better than everybody. That way, it's better. It's easy for you to know yourself, trying to learn from other people. So stop. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying stop hanging out with losers and figure and figure things out. Like it really needs time. It takes time. It doesn't take a day. It doesn't take a month. It's a lifetime investment. It's a process, and you got to be willing to invest that time and energy towards achieving that because it's worth it. Trust me, it is really worth it. Because when you sit down, when you know yourself, when you sit down, someone is trying to manipulate you, you already know before the person wants to manipulate you. And if you're not if you know yourself, you're really confident enough to approach a person like, hey man, this is the thing you're trying to do. Let me give you a better strategy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's it. Because if you're big in yourself, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, I know everything. Now I don't. I'm still learning. It's a learning process every single day.
When we're at work, you act like you know everything. You act like you know everything in the world. But it's okay.
I don't know everything in the world, okay? Anyways, the last stuff before we leave. What are some of the strongest value that you really hold in your life today?
My friends.
Your friends?
Mm-hmm.
That's your strongest value?
Yeah. Those are my biggest they I don't know where I would be if I did not have my friends. They helped me a lot. Like I told you, I was going house to house to house. Where would I be if I didn't have my friends? They keep me grounded. They keep me sane, especially my best friend. I value her the most. We're like this. I literally don't know where I would be without my best friend. And I'm not big on talking about my feelings or I don't know, I like to keep everything to myself, but that's one person that I can express myself to, and yeah, I know she's always there. So wow. Yeah, I value her the most.
That's good. That's a good one, especially when your mom is no more, your dad is in jail.
Yeah,
that's really a tough one. I kind of understand where you're coming from, and like I said, I don't know everything. I'm still learning. Okay, and. Is there anything you want to say before we end the episode?
Yes. I had such a good time, and I want to learn more because of our conversation just now. You have motivated me to want to do better and just to really reflect on myself. So thank you.
Oh, nothing. The pleasure's all mine. Okay. Thank you for coming to Ben Rollins Blueprint. Hey, guys, there you have it. Today's episode comes to an end. I just want to thank you for everything you do. Thank you for tuning in to Ben Rollins Blueprint. This episode was a great one, and just do us a favor. Make sure you share this with your loved ones and friends. Like the video and comment. What do you think? Do you think we said some crazy stuff today, or you agree with everything we said today? Just leave your opinions or your thoughts in the comments below, and we're going to check it out. Thank you very much. See you on the next episode. Ben Rollins Blueprint comes to an end. Thank you.